I'm going to be embarking on making my first ever fursuit. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Cosplay on a Budget. I'm your host, Miss Cosplay, and no crazy pink wig today. Today's actually going to be the first video of a small series I'm going to have on my channel where I am going to be embarking on making my first ever fursuit. Now, my fursona is a turtle. I'm hoping to be able to make a turtle fursuit. There is not really anything online about how to make it aside from just a few Ninja Turtle cosplays. So this is going to be a first for me, and it's going to be a learning experience because there's not a lot of stuff out there. So yeah. But the first tutorial in this series is going to be for a DIY cooling vest. Now, if you don't know what a cooling vest is something that you would wear underneath your fursuit to help you keep cool. There is little ice packs in here and everything like that. And if you live in an extremely hot climate like I do here in Florida, cooling vests are kind of a necessity if you're going to be wearing a fursuit or anything like that. So, the cheapest one I found online was $40, which was a little bit out of my price range for something that I'm going to be wearing underneath the fursuit. So this little thing, with everything that I used, aside from the Velcro, simply because I had the Velcro, but everything came out to about $13. So $13 for a cute little cooling vest that you can personalize to whatever fits your fursona. My fursona, as I said, is a turtle who is a huge Ninja Turtle fan, so of course my cooling vest has Ninja Turtles on it. So if you would like to learn how to make this cooling vest, then keep on watching. Measurements that you're going to have to take, and these are for the elastic pieces for your cooling vest. Now, the first one is going to be your shoulder straps, and what I like to do is actually take the little ice packs that I will be using, and I don't want it to dig into my stomach when I go to lean over, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel for that point, and I'm going to put the bottom of it just a little bit higher than that point. Will let me know where the top of the little ice pack will lay. So with that, I'm going to take my measuring tape. I'm going to go about 2 inches down onto the ice pack, and the reason I'm going to do this is because whenever I sew the elastic to the fabric, I want to make sure the elastic is really onto the fabric. So I want to make sure that there's plenty of room to sew and everything like that. So I'm going to go about 2 inches down. Oh, probably about 2.5 actually. And then I'm going to put this over my shoulder and try to line it up to about where my shoulder blade is. And that is about 16 inches. And then I'm also going to add 2.5 inches to that. So it's going to be 18.5 inches, and that's going to be how long my shoulder straps will be. So next up, keeping this in place, I'm going to wrap this around my stomach. Now, I've already done this, and the ice pack, even when frozen, only adds about an extra inch. So because I'm going to have one on my front and one on my back, I'm going to add 2 inches to my waist measurement. But you can just do it this way if you want, and if you can have somebody hold the one on your back, that's fine. That would help you out a lot more. You just want to do something like this. And you don't want it to be too tight. You don't want it to be like, you know, squeezing you as you're trying to walk around. But you don't want it too loose either. So yeah, this is going to be 31 with this one. Now normally it's around 30 for me. So I know to make it actually 32 for the back ice pack as well. And I'm actually going to be adding at least 2.5 inches on either side of this elastic piece, and this is just going to be so I can fold that 2.5 inches over the buckle to hold that in place. Okay, so I started off by just hemming the top edge here and then just running a straight stitch along it. And I actually, after I actually froze one of the ice packs to see how long it would stay frozen and everything like that, I realized the perspiration was going to leak straight through these pieces of fabric. So I'm actually going to be putting the ice packs in a gallon freezer bag, and because of that I had to widen my pouch a little bit, but luckily I realized this before I actually cut out my fabric, so it worked out in the end. And this part will just be folded over, so it'll sit like this. So I have the extra 3 inches over here, and I've already pinned the right sides together of both the dark green and the Ninja Turtle fabric. So I have my 3 inches here, and then I have an extra 1/2 inch, and that will help the elastic be sewn on. And then I just have a 1/2 inch seam allowance on these 3 sides to help me sew them together. And so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sew all the pouches together. I have both pouches here. I have both pouches already pinned together and everything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and sew these up, and I will show you guys what they look like whenever that's done. Okay, so as you saw, I just ran a zigzag stitch all the way on those 3 sides, and I also trimmed up the edges, and that was just so I could turn it right side out a lot easier and those wouldn't be a problem. So this is what it looks like whenever it's right side out. So next up, we're going to be adding the elastic parts. So I'm just going to pin those in place, and I'll show you what they look like whenever they're pinned in place. Okay, so the first thing I did was I actually folded this over the 2.5 inches that I need to be folded over, and I ironed it. That way I knew where the top of the little overlay of elastic should be. And because I couldn't pin these down to where they would stay, I just went ahead and lightly hand sewed it in the shape that I wanted it to be. So I'll go over this with the sewing machine in this pattern and like a square with an X through it, just to make sure it stays on here. But the waistband seam I was able to just pin down, and actually what I did was I went ahead and put the ice pack in here and then wrapped the waistband around me to see where it fit better, where it felt better, because I was originally going to put it on the bottom here, but it was going to dig into my stomach when it was down here, so I put it up a little higher. And I went ahead and added the buckle as well, and so I just, looped that through and then just used a straight stitch just to, I folded it over and then used a straight stitch. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew all the elastic part on, and then I'm going to pin it to the other side and sew these straps onto the other thing too, and it will be done. And so here's the finished product. I went ahead and put my Under Armour on. This is just a cheap little $4 Under Armour that I got at my local Goodwill. It's just a little volleyball shirt actually, but always put your Under Armour on whenever you're making this because you want it to be adjusted to whatever you're going to be wearing underneath your fursuit. So this is the finished product. So I'll show you how it works. First off, the front and the back are little pouches. And I also had Velcro. This is completely optional, but I didn't like the way it was flapping around. So I have Velcro. And yes, I had to hot glue the Velcro on here. I would highly suggest not getting sticky back Velcro and just sewing it on here. But the only Velcro I had was sticky back and it completely ruined a needle. So I then just proceeded to hot glue it in place. And it's also got Velcro inside to close the flap. And inside is just the ice packs in the gallon freezer bags. So how you would do this is you just pop your ice pack in there, close up your pouch, put down your flap, and find your front pouch. You would kind of just swing it over your head like that. This also would be a lot easier if your ice packs aren't defrosted like mine are, so they're a lot less squishy. So you just adjust it like that. And then you would just buckle it around back. Now I put my buckle on the back because my fursona and my suit is going to be a turtle, so she's going to have the shell on the back. If you're doing a really poofy fursuit, I don't think it would really matter where you put the buckle, but if you have some way to cover up the buckle, because it might make a little indent, or not indent, because it might make a little like bulge in your suit. So if you have some way or something you're going to be wearing on the suit to cover that up, I would strategically place the buckle. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. You can adjust it if you want to. You can pull it down farther, you can push it up farther. I'm probably going to have mine down a little bit farther simply because of the shell. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my DIY cooling vest. So there it is, my first installment for the first attempt at a fursuit series. Maybe I can come up with a better name than that. This video, go ahead and hit that like button and comment down below if you have any questions or anything like that. Subscribe to become a member of the cosplay family and ring that bell for notifications for whenever I upload and to keep updated for when I upload more for this little series here. And with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!